Very good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss an important topic: paged memory management technique. So, paged memory management technique. So, in paged memory management technique, we have to understand two things: the memory, that is RAM. Another one, secondary memory, secondary memory, that is hard disk. Okay. So in secondary memory hard disk, there are two user programs, program 1 and program 2. These two are going to executed in memory using paged memory management technique. Okay. So for your understanding, the size of the program 1 size of the program 1 is 65 bytes. Size of the program 1 is P1 is 65 bytes, and size of the program 2 is 57 bytes. This is the size of program 2. Okay. So according to the principle of paged memory management technique, the entire program 1 is divided into many pages. Okay. So the program 1 must be divided into many pages. So for your understanding, so this program P1 is divided into many pages. For your understanding, page is a partition of a program. Page is a partition of a program. Here all pages are of same size. Okay. So for your understanding, the size of the page is 10 bytes. Okay. So in program 1 there are 7 pages. Isn't it? There are 7 pages. So there are 7 pages, and in each page there are 10 bytes. Okay. So there are this is a 10 byte page 1, this is page 1, this is page 2, this is page 3, this is page 4, page 5, page 6, and page 7. So for program 1, from page number 1 to page number 6, entire space occupied. But in page number 7, only half of the portion, that is first 5 bytes, is occupied, remaining the next 5 bytes free, because the size of the program is only 65 bytes. Likewise, come to understand, so here there are 7 pages. There are 7 pages. Likewise, for program 2, for program 2 and its size is 57. So the 57 bytes of program 2 is divided into 6 pages, isn't it? Because each page can have only 10 bytes. Okay, so program 2, it is a 6-page program. It is a 6-page program. Here the page number, the page number starts from 0. So 0 to 6. Page number 0, page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4, page 5 and page 6, totally 7 pages. Likewise, here there are 6 pages. So page number starts from 0. So page number 0, page number 1, page number 2, page number 3, page number 4, page number 5 and page number 6. Okay, here page number 1 is fully occupied by the program. Sorry, this is not. Okay, it is a 6 pages program. So there are only 6 pages from P0 to P5. So P4. In P5, first 7 bytes occupied, last 3 bytes will be free. Last 3 bytes will be free. Okay, so it is a 6 pages program. Very clear? It is a 6 pages program. So in a multi-programming environment, we are going to execute both the program 1 and program 2. So in random access memory. So this is random access memory. Here this random access memory is divided into 2 partitions. This is low memory. It is occupied by system program, system software, that is OS. Remaining, this is high memory area. This high memory area for user program. So that the entire user memory area must be divided into many partition of size, page size. Very clear? According to the principle of paged memory management, the entire user memory area must be divided into many partition and each partition must be the size of page. Here the size of the page is 10 bytes. Okay, for your understanding, this is a 500 bytes high memory. This is a 500 bytes high memory. Here the size of the page is 10 bytes. So 500 by 10. So totally 50 pages can be created. 50 pages. 50 partitions. So there are 50 partitions. All the partitions are of same size, that is 10 bytes. So partition starts from here. Each partition in random access memory is technically called frame. In secondary memory, a partition is called page. A partition in primary memory, that is in random access memory, it is called frame. So here there are 50 frames. So ranges from F0 to F49. F49. We know already that operating system maintains all the resources. So in memory management there are 4 functions. First one is keep track of the status of all bytes. Okay, so here the entire user memory area is divided into 50 frames. Okay, it's here now all 50 frames are free, unallocated. Okay, so if a frame is allocated means it is referred as 1. If it is not allocated, not yet allocated means it is referred as 0. So that there is a reference bit. Reference bit. For your understanding, 0000 means frame 0, frame 1, frame 2, frame 3 up to 0000. This is frame 49. Very initially, all the frames are unallocated, so there are 50 zeros. 50 zeros. Later, okay, the 50 bit reference bits modified to 0 1 1 0 up to 0 1 1 0. So the first frame and its status is 0. So frame 0 unallocated. Next, frame 1 is allocated. Frame 2 is also allocated. Frame 3 unallocated. Likewise, this is frame 49. It is unallocated. Frame 48 is allocated already. Likewise, frame 47 also. Very clear? So using this technique, operating system may keep track of the status of each frame, whether a particular frame is allocated or not. Okay, so very initially all the frames are unallocated, so all frame bits are 0. If all frames are occupied by someone program means all bits are ones. Okay, in between combination of these things. Okay, so now come to understand execution of program 1. Execution of program 1. So when program 1 going to be executed, it must be available in random access memory. Okay, so the size of the program one is 7 pages. Okay, so 7 frames must be allocated and all 7 pages of P1 must be available in random access memory. Then only P1 can be executed. Likewise, for P2, 6 pages must be allocated, and the allocated 6 pages, the P2 must be available. Then P2 program can be executed. Okay, so for your understanding, so that a page map table, PMT, page map table, shortly called a PMT. So the page map table is created. So it is a 2 data table, 2 entry table. Here there are 2 entries. This is page number, this is frame number. Very clear? So this is page number, this is frame number. For P1, there are 7 pages, isn't it? P0, P1, P2, P3, P4, P5, and P6. Okay, so these 7 pages are available in frame number F5, F10, F15, F20, F25, F30, and F35 for your understanding. So for program P1, there are 7 pages, ranges from P0 to P6. So the first page of P0 of program 1 is available in frame 5. Likewise, the last page of program 1, P6 is available in frame 35. Okay, so this is for understanding. This is frame 5. This is frame 10. This is frame 35, and this is frame 30. This is frame 25. This is frame 20. This is frame 15. Okay, so in frame 5, P0 of P1 is available. Likewise, P1 of P1, welcome back students. Here program 1 is a 7 pages program. So this is a page map table. So page 0 is available in frame 5. Likewise, page 6 is available in frame 35. Okay, F frame 5, frame 10, frame 15, frame 20, frame 25, frame 30, frame 35. These are all occupied by various pages of program 1. So a page map table is created for program 1. Likewise, page map table for program 2. It is a 6 pages program. So P0, P1, P2, P3, P4 and P5. Okay, so these are all available in frame 4, frame 9, frame 14, frame 19, frame 24, and this is frame 30. Very clear? Frame 4, frame 9, frame 14, frame 19, frame 24 and frame 29. Okay, I think initially all the frames are free. So here it is a 7 pages program. It is a 6 pages program. So totally 13 frames are allocated. So 13 frames are allocated. Remaining frames are free. Okay. So now there are 2 tables are created. This is page map table of program 1. This is a page map table of program 2. So this is page number. This is frame number. Okay. So come to understand when program 1 going to be executed, in this situation program 1 must be loaded onto RAM. Okay, so in this situation, okay, the page map table, so this page map table is created. Okay, so that next come to understand execution. So in execution, so this is a 65 bytes program. Okay, so at the time of execution, whatever the address CPU generated must be within 0 to 64, because in program 1 only from the starting location 0 to 64 there is an instruction to be executed. Okay, so that for your understanding, 2 address is generated. For example, 27 and another one say 55. Okay, so this is the location of the first instruction to be executed. This is the address of the second instruction to be executed. Okay, so that கொஞ்சம் இதை concentrate பண்ணு. Okay, so this is the logical address. This is called a logical address. Logical address. So this logical address must be converted to physical address. Physical address. What do you mean logical address? Address, if it is referred one thing, that is program or data in secondary memory, mean it is a logical address. Physical address mean it is also an address referred instruction or data in random access memory. Okay, so a logical address must be converted to physical address. So here logical for program 1, the first logical address is 27. So this must be converted to physical address. Now we are going to discuss how it will be converted. Okay, I think the address 27 may occupy the third page, isn't it? Because 0 to 9 first page, 10 to 19 second page, 20 to 29 third page. Okay, so CPU generated one address that is 27 means it refers third page of program 1. So third page of program 1. So third page of program 1 is loaded in frame number 30. Okay, this must be converted. How it will be converted we are going to discuss. So the logical address 27 must be divided by the size of the page 10. This yields page number. Next, 27 mod by 10. This gives page offset. Page offset. Okay, so here this gives 2, this gives 7, isn't it? So for 27 page number is 2 and page offset is 7. So in program 1 this is in page 2 location 7. Location 7 the instruction is available. So this must be executed next. Okay, so that what memory management perform with this details, which page number 2, page number 2, so that it come to the page map table. So this is the page map table of program 1. So this page map table is also available in random access memory. So for your understanding, so its address is 230. So 230. So in 230 page map table of program 1 is created. So this is 470. This is 400. This is page map table of program 2. Okay, so that now in multi-programming there are 2 page map table. Okay, so that operating system maintains another PMT index table. Page map table index table. So this page map table index table. So this is page map table index table. So this is program and starting address of the page map table. This is program number. So this is the address. So for example, here there are two programs, P1, P2. Address of the page map table of program 1 is 230. So address of the page map table of program 2 is 470. Okay. So come to understand here. CP generated one address, that is 27. So from this logical address, two component created, that is page number P2 and page offset 7. So with this, it come to page map index table. Page map index table. Because there are two programs, P1 and P2. So for P1, its starting address is 230. So 230 means it comes to the location 230. In 230, page map table of P1 is available. Here P2, page 2 is available in frame 15. Okay, so that it come to frame 15. How it come to frame 15? I think user memory area starts in location 100. Starts in location 100. So starting address 100. So the frame 15 starts at the end of the 14th frame. Okay, so 14th frame and its size is 10. So totally 100 plus 100. So totally 240 is the starting location of the frame 15. Because in frame 15, page 2 of program 1 available. So in starting location 250. So this is frame 15. Its starting address is 240. Here this program available. Okay, the instruction available here. This is the 7th. Okay, 7th byte. So here the instruction available. So this is going to be fetched, decoded, then execution performed. Very clear? I repeat once again. CPU generated one logical address 27. So from this, page number and page offset derived. So operating system going to the page map table index table, because in multi-programming there are multiple programs in execution. Okay, so now there are two programs in execution, P1 and P2. So for P1, address is 230. So in 230, page map table of P1 available. So now we have to find the address of page map table page 2 of page 2. It is available in frame 15. So for frame 15, entire user memory area starts at 100. So frame 15 starts at the location of end of frame 14. So frame 14 and its size is 110. So totally 100 plus 140 at the location of 240. Frame 15 starts. So here in 7th location, the instruction is available. This is going to be fetching. This is going to be fetched, decoded, and executed. Okay. So here one more thing I would like to say. There is a special register, page map table base register. Page map table base register. Okay, page map table base register means this is one register. Okay, so in this register, address of the page map table going to be loaded and referred. For example, page number 1 for program 1, the page map table available in location 230. So this 230 going to be loaded on page map table base register, that is 230. Then only OS come to the location 230. Here only page map table of P1 available. Okay. So here we have to understand the page map table base register also. Okay. Then advantages, disadvantages. Page map table eliminate fragmentation, that is external fragmentation. So external fragmentation means in user memory area, is there any unused memory that cannot be treated as a partition, means that is external fragmentation. But here the entire user memory area is divided into 50 partitions, complete 50 partitions. There is no more space. Okay. So using paged memory management technique, we can eliminate external fragmentation, but there is internal fragmentation. I would like to say. So come to understand internal fragmentation. So internal fragmentation means unused memory in a partition. Unused memory in a partition. So here in program 1, it occupies 7 pages. So page 6 is the last page. Here first 5 bytes is occupied, remaining 5 bytes free, but it is allocated for P1. So page 6 is loaded in frame 25. So this is frame 25. So in frame 25, first 5 bytes is occupied by program 1, but last 5, the next 5 bytes is free. So this is internal fragmentation. So internal fragmentation means unused memory in a allocated partition. Okay, so that in page memory management we can eliminate external fragmentation, but still there is internal fragmentation. So this internal fragmentation will be overcome by some other method. This will be discussed in the next class. Okay, so you must understand secondary memory program. It will be divided into many pages. Here RAM, entire user memory is divided into many frames. Frame bits 0 means unallocated, 1 means allocated. So for executing a program, it must be loaded onto RAM. So there is a mechanism, page memory management mechanism. So you must know the necessary of page map table base register, then what is execution, how logical address is converted into physical address. So the logical address is 27, but the physical address is 240. So 240 means in random access memory at the location 240 plus offset 7. So 247. So in this location, the instruction available to be executed next, this is going to be fetched, decoded and executed. Okay, I think you are all clear with the page memory management. So if you are clear with the page memory management technique, then only demand page memory management technique is more easy to understand. So, okay, thank you. If any clarification, you can call to me.